Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
We welcome you to River Forest as we get set for another matchup of the Concordia Chicago University Cougars men's soccer as they take on the Green Knights of St. Norbert College. Alongside Peter Borkowski, I am Rafael Gonzalez. And Peter, this is a must-win game for the Cougars after starting out the year in a pretty bad spot.
Well, Cougars start the year 0-6 overall, 0-3 in conference play. Those losses came to Benedictine, Edgewood, and Aurora. Aurora was their latest game. They played that just 3 days ago at Aurora. They dropped that one 4-0. Rafael, goal scoring has been the issue this season for the Cougars. They have not scored a goal since their season opener way back on September 1st at Wheaton College. That was a loss 2-1. Since then, they've been shut out in 5 straight games, a combined score of 13-0. So Cougars in desperate need of not only a win today, but some kind of offensive production.
They've been shut out for the past plus 490 minutes of game time. And as you mentioned, now they have problems offensively, but defensively, they've given up 2.5 goals per game. So trouble on both sides of the pitch.
When we look at the Green Knights side of things now, as the team's meeting with the referees, starting to get ready for kickoff here. Green Knights coming into River Forest 2-3-4 overall. They are 1-0-2 within conference play. So a win here against CUC would be a big pick up for the Green Knights. Those 3 conference games, they had a 2-0 win at Lakeland, a 1-1 tie against Aurora, and in their most recent game, also 3 days ago, they hosted Marion. That ended in a 1-1 tie as well. We look at the historical Cougars all-time 0-2 against the Green Knights. Their latest meeting came on September 25th of last year. That was a 3-1 loss up in Des Peres, Wisconsin. The only other game they've played against the Green Knights was a neutral site game in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. That was a 9-3 Green Knights victory.
Green Knights are led by multiple scorers, including Joe Meade and Tyler Bonin, among others, who have scored already. 4 players on the team scored 2 goals this year, and in total, 7 different goal scorers for them this year.
Well, the Cougars' lone goal came from number 11 sophomore Garrett Pointer. The only other player with a point on the roster is number 33 Samuel Epperly. He's a senior from Elgin, Illinois. He got the assist on Pointer's goal in the season opener. But as we mentioned, since then, Cougars struggling to find the back of the net. Obviously, you got to score if you want to pick up a win, so it's going to be a big focus today is getting some kind of offensive production.
Well, we'll see throughout the next 2 hours whether or not the Cougars can finally snap that long goalless drought.
Well, we want to remind fans today, or this game at least, is just game 1 of today's soccer doubleheader here in River Forest. The women's soccer team, they'll take the field once the men's team is done here. Also facing the Green Knights. It's also senior day for the women's soccer team, so make sure to catch that one. Scheduled for a 3:15 start time. You can catch that on the Cougar Sports Network. As always, you can also find live coverage at cucougars.com.
So get set. St. Norbert, as we mentioned, looking to remain unbeaten in conference, while the Cougars look to turn the season around.
Looks like we'll get the starting lineups here in just a second, but starting in net for the Cougars, you could already see him lined up on the sideline. It's going to be number 1, Nicholas Pursuit. We look at his stats on the year. The senior, 6 games played, 2.44 goals against average, a .583 save percentage. Pursuit had a heck of a year last season. struggling to get back to those dominant ways that we saw last year, but Pursuit's one of those guys, when he turns it on, he's almost unbeatable.
Last year, Pursuit had a save percentage of nearly 76. So far this year, just a little bit above 58%. One of the many struggles the Cougars have had this year.
Also interested to see if we see an appearance from Joseph Perez, number 35 goalkeeper. Him and Pursuit split time a lot last season. So we'll see if Perez comes in the second half at all, which we've seen him do a couple times this season.
moments away from kickoff here between these two schools. Take a look at the managers of both teams. First, you have the Green Knights of St. Norbert, led by Derek Rhodes, already in his 10th season with the program. Then meanwhile, you have for the Cougars, Concordia Chicago, Chan Flanders in his first year, looking still for that ever first win.
Well, we talked about the netminder for the Cougars a little bit with Pursuit. Let's flip things to the Green Knights netminder. Daniel Yerk, number 1, getting the start today. 5 games played, a little over 291 minutes of action. He's allowed 5 goals. He's made 8 saves, or a .615 save percentage, a 1.54 goals against average. Now, York hasn't played the most minutes at goalie. That would be number 00, Nate Yacht. But Yacht starting on the bench today. Maybe they have a similar situation to Perez and Pursuit, 2 capable starters, trying to figure out how to split time between them. But for now, we see Yerk in net in the bright yellow, and then we see Nicholas Pursuit in net for the Cougars in the neon green uni.
Taking a look at Concordia Chicago, they're having 3 defenders today, and then it looks like they're going to pack up the entire midfield as they look to play more of like a false 9, not have a striker on the team. So they look to play more in the wing. When a kickoff, and we're off here in River Forest. St. Norbert in all green, going from left to right, as the Cougars in the all white from right to left. Look at him now. Whips it in and heads down, and just shy already. We're less than half a minute in, and St. Norbert already nearly scored the game's opening goal.
As obvious as it might sound, a good start is pivotal here for the Cougars. This is a team that's really, really struggling to get things done on both ends of the field. You cannot allow a golden opportunity like that for the Green Knights right off the bat. We're not even a minute into the game. So Cougars, they got to take control of the situation now. They got to at least get some possession, keep the Green Knights from getting those golden opportunities again.
The header came from John O'Connor right there, the junior, the game's opening shot. Foul. Free kick up here for St. Norbert. They came into the day averaging 1.2 goals per game. Bottom 3 in that category for the Cougars. Coming today at a .17 goals per game. So these are the 2 of the worst teams so far in conference in terms of the goal category. First shot on target lands right into the stomach right there of Nicholas Pursuit, the netminder.
Good first shot for Pursuit to face. Not too much on it. Barely had to move. Just let that fall into his chest and then fell down on it. Getting Pursuit off to a good start is going to be big here, too. Giving him some shots that he can, some easier shots to save. You don't want to not let him face anything because then he's just going to be cold for the game. But give him something that he can manage right off the bat should get him a little warmed up.
Green Knights continue to play on the right side. It's a foul there against Michael Byron, number 13.
Cougars got to watch the fouls coming into today. 91 fouls on the year. That's 20 more than their opponents, who have 71 so far against the Cougars. It's hard to get something going, with the team who's struggling when you keep putting yourself in danger with the foul trouble.
And shot right there, the first timer right there. Again, O'Connor let it rip, this time over the net. It'll be another goal kick. Pursuit, the senior out of New Boston, Michigan. He puts it away. Connor. First time St. Norbert plays down the left-hand side. The ball whips in and cleared out the last second. It'll be a corner, however, for the Green Knights.
Santiago looking like he's struggling a little bit to get that one out. He was just like a little out of sorts right now. You know, that's kind of the first part to getting your act together when you're struggling as a team. Is you just got to pull those simple things off. You got to do the little things right. And Cougars look like they're struggling with that a little right now.
Corner comes to no avail. Pasu heaves it deep. It's going to fall from one side of the net to another netminder, this time to Yerk.
I don't totally dislike the decision from Pursuit to just boot that thing all the way down. He was having trouble getting possession. Sometimes just sending it deep into the opponent's zone is the best way to get something going. But you can't just send it right to the other netminder because that's just a free turnover, essentially.
St. Norbert came in today only scoring 2 goals in the first half throughout the year, despite the fact that they've outshot their opponents in the opening half 60-29. They've been known so far as more of a second half team with scoring 9 goals. But so far, less than 5 minutes in, and they've looked to be on attack.
Great kick out there from Valencia. He tried to send that one into the middle of the field, and he just stuck his right foot out. Able to get that one out, give his defense a little time to reset.
Opportunity, header, save right there by Pasu. The header came off the head this time of Joe Meade, number 9. However, he wasn't able to put the power down. Eric will play it short. Januszewski. Byron wins the ball back, controls it, and now passes it ahead. However, well read that time by Laguna.
Green Knights doing an excellent job just keeping control of the ball. Not really giving the Cougars any opportunity to move down the field with possession.
So far, the game has really opened up for the Green Knights. Let's see if the Cougars here on the counter, can they do something with it? Richowitz. As it turned up forward. And at the end, it gets taken away. Foul. Third foul of the game now for the Cougars. Cougars look to finally get out of the defensive third. Now they might finally have a chance now.
It's a good chance here. You start off with possession. The Green Knights They're putting the pressure on all over the field. They want that ball really bad. You know, this is a Cougars team who's really, really itching to score a goal. This will just be their second goal of the season. So Green Knights are going to be aggressive, try and go after that ball, and so far it's working as they're dominating the game of possession.
Chesky. Ahead. Now Byron will have it. Paris. Oh, bad pass there to Byron. And now the Green Knights have it. Bejarda tries to cut inside. Tackle down the box. No pen given.
It's a good job by the Cougars to clear that out, but that's another mistake you got to clean up. Evan Perez just kind of left that ball in free-for-all. And that's when the Green Knights picked it up, had a chance at net. Cougars just need to collect themselves. I think they're kind of on edge, obviously. This is a team who's still looking for their first win, 7 games into the season now. They're looking for their first goal since the opener, excuse me. So I'm imagining tensions are a little high for the team in white, but you just got to play calm, play collected, and you got to avoid mistakes like that.
Controlled down now by Madsen, who then immediately gives it back up to St. Norbert. So, to Meade. Now, Cougars look to clear it out defensively. It's going to fall on the feet this time of Velasquez. Montejano. Velasquez gets tripped up and foul.
Well, here you go. If you're the Cougars, Green Knights commit a foul. Now you got a little bit of a chance here. You got possession just across half pitch on your own side. Now they're going back the opposite direction, but this is a chance you got to make the most out of. Green Knights not giving the Cougars much room to breathe.
Tejano. As both teams still looking to try to win it in the air. We're trying to use his body as a shield. I think it's double team right there. Ball on the play and a throw in for the Green Knights. So far, the Green Knights applying the pressure, attacking wise. See right there, 3 Green Knight defenders right there, or attackers should say, defending. Perhada.
It seems to be their strategies, just swarm the ball. You usually see 2 or 3 green unis around a white jersey whenever Cougars have the ball. They're just everyone is just collapsing in on the ball carrier for the Cougars, trying to force that turnover, and they're doing a great job of it so far today, especially when they're so far deep into the Cougars' own end of the pitch.
So far, we really haven't seen yet once in this game the Cougars go on the opposition side up of 50.
Well, it goes back to what I said earlier, that sometimes you might just want to start dumping that thing downfield and, you know, just send your fast players down and fight for possession, but they're struggling to even do that. They can barely get this thing even in close enough range to dump it downfield.
There might be something brewing right here. Throw in. Passer Lechowicz, nowhere near him.
Another thing, those passes got to be clean. That one was pretty far off from Lechowicz's feet.
From one side of the pitch to the other now. Keeper how to get there in time. He does. He crosses it in. Cleared away by Santiago. Yeah, Madsen kicks it away. It'll be a throw-in once again for the Green Knights. Meanwhile, on the bench for the Cougars, there seems to be about 7-8 players starting to warm up. So potentially, for the next several minutes, you might see a few substitutions come onto the pitch.
Well, you notice in the Cougars starting lineup, some notable names who are usually there were missing. The one that jumped out to me, number 17, Michael Frank. Usually in this starting lineup, we look on the year, he's played in 6 games. So unless he's, injured, Coach Flanders trying to shake up his starting lineup a little bit, see if he could get something kick-started with different personnel out there.
Velasquez will throw it in. Closest Cougar to him is Lechowicz. They have about 3 players inside the box. Now Montana will make it 4. So the potential here would be a long throw-in. Hits off of the fender. Santiago will be the first one to kick it back in. Good slide tackle right there by the Cougar defender.
Well, under 29 minutes left to go here in the first half, and credit the Cougars defense. They've really whipped into shape a little. Despite all this Green Knight pressure, Cougars really cracking down in that last third, not allowing any good shots on net since that opening flurry at the beginning of the game.
Back here to the Lagoon for the freshman. Falling down the ground right there. No foul given, though, to the Cougars. Still not getting up at the moment. Now Gonzalez does get back up, however. have a yellow. Interesting to see who was on. It appeared to be against the Cougars. We'll find out in a moment.
It looked like the referee who handed it out pointed it towards. Here's the announcement over the loudspeaker. Just yellow card on the Cougars. I think that was against Coach Flanders. We saw the referee point right at him. So could be Flanders, could be the bench. Maybe not so happy with that no call on the play that knocked Gonzalez to the ground.
Once again, being undisciplined of the Cougars. So we saw right there. Valencia wins possession back in the midfield. Pass it to Madison. A bit too far out of the flag. Mertels. Ball's going to land on the feet this time. At first, for a second, Bonin. Green Knights taking their time in possession.
Green Knights having no problems, no qualms, I guess I should say, about slowing the game down, really taking their time with possession, as you just said, Rafael. Really going to work the Cougars, spread them across the field, and then when they see that opening, that's when they head right towards the net. But, again, since those opening 5 or so minutes when we saw a couple of Green Knight attacks, they've really kind of lightened the load in terms of going after the Cougars' net.
First substitutions of the day just occur right now for the Cougars. Regains control is in mid. And he gets dragged down the ground. An obvious foul right there. And a yellow.
Well, yellow is on one of those Cougar substitutions. Number 25, Andreas Marin, coming right into the game. He came in for Valencia. So Green Knights, good chance here to put the first goal up on the board. We're almost about 20 minutes through the first half here in River Forest.
Well, the Green Knights take the game's opening lead right here on this free kick. Good save there by Pasud. Diving effort right there. And the end result will be a corner for the Green Knights.
Oh, yeah, so get the announcement number 26, Alberto Arellano in for the Cougars.
Corner bounces past everyone and it falls in the back of the net. Originally at first, the corner went through everyone and eventually fell on the foot of the Green Knight. And they take the game's opening lead, 1-0.
A little bit of unfortunate luck for the Cougars. That ball just almost rolled perfectly to the goal scorer's foot. There's a clump of numbers. I wasn't able to make out exactly who it was who put in the net. We'll get that in just a second, but Green Knights got what they wanted finally after about 20 minutes of constant pressure. They're finally able to break through on the corner kick turn goal. So the Cougars, they got some work to do now.
St. Norbert takes the 1-0 lead. Came in today averaging a little over a goal per game. And now, less than halfway through the first half, they've achieved that.
Caden Edsel credited with the goal. 19-14 in the game. For Edsel, this is goal number 3 on the year. Takes over the team lead. Number of players tied with him at 2 coming into today. So Edsel now the sole leader in the goal category. But again, Cougars, in a game they're struggling to really get possession. They got some work to do now as they're trailing by 1, and Green Knight's still putting the pressure on. Last thing you want now, if you're a Cougar, is to see this 1-goal lead turn into a multi-goal lead.
Cougars still trying to snap that long goalless drought that they've endured for the past 5 games and counting. They came into today being outscored 15-1. Now make that 16-1. Direct pass right there. Perez. Meritos currently with the ball. So they're going to give the goal officially to number 12, Mike Meritos, the senior out of Wisconsin. It will be his first goal on the year, and that is currently the difference right now.
And the assist going to number 18, Willem Van de Acker. His first point on the year. So, score is officially taking back that was Etzel's goal.
Substitution, Lechowitz comes out of the pitch. On the pitch now is number 23, Andres Marin. Santiago. And then kept in there. Back to pursuit. Frank. Marin. Looking to find outlet pass. Does Frank again. Now, in space. Pass right there, red. By Laguna. Two and a half minutes left here in the opening half. See, number up 1-0. They came into the day unbeaten in 4 out of their last 5 appearances this year, while the Cougars are still in search for their first point of the year, whether that be a win or a draw. sides right there. As there appeared to be at first a good opportunity. Down the left-hand side.
Well, a reminder to fans out there watching, you can head over to CUCougars.com for everything CUC athletics related, like CUC men's soccer. All you got to do is click on sports, whatever team you're looking for, and you can find roster, schedule, stats, and more. Once again, that's CUCougars.com.
So far, first has been dominated by the Green Knights possession-wise.
The Cougars, only one shot so far in the game. Still looking for the first shot on goal as well. Not making Yerk really do any work back there at all. They're struggling just to get it over the half-pitch line in general. Got to make some big adjustments either now or once they get into the halftime break. Obviously, what they're doing right now is not working against the Green Knights, who are just doing a great job keeping that pressure on the Cougars.
Barr. See if we can get there. That's right there. That is Joe. Was unable to win it. Substitutions for the Green Knights. Good job there by Marin. Gets tripped up and a foul. And here we go. Free kick opportunity. It's going to be about, say it's going to be about, in the end result, it's going to be plus 30 yards out. A yellow there on the Green Knight defender who tackled him. We'll find out in a moment who it is.
Well, good chance here for the Cougars. See if they can make something of it, at least get this thing on net. Create some chaos around the Green Knights goal. Just trying to get something started here.
So you have Montejano, Santiago, among two of the three players. As I think he's going to take it. He's going to pass it to Montejano. He's going to try to look to shoot it. Does. Block on the way through. It's going to be in the result of a corner.
So good job by number 8 in green, Charlie Donaher. That ball caught him at a bad part of the foot or ankle because he's hobbling around for a second. Now he's sitting down on the ground. But kind of wish the Cougars would have just sent that towards the net. I know it wasn't the cleanest look. It was from a far way out, but they're getting nothing going in terms of possession and settled offense. So send something towards the net. Maybe you get a lucky bounce. You get a body in there to get something going. But either way, this is where we're at. But first, I want to mention that Cougar fans, you can be sure to check out our YouTube page, CUC Sports. All kinds of new digital content like interviews and all broadcasts on the Cougar Sports Network. And now you can become a channel member for only $5 a month to receive exclusive access to content and the ability to participate in live chats during the broadcast. All you got to do, go to our YouTube channel, CUC Sports, click the join button, and you can become our newest member. But if you don't want to become a member at the time, you can also donate to the CUC Athletic Communications Department to continue to improve the broadcast you're watching. All you got to do is click the thank button on any CUC Sports video, and we sincerely thank you for all of your support.
Over the second corner of the day for the Cougars. And there's currently 5 players inside the box, right nearly in the net.
They just create create chaos in front of the goalie. get a lucky bounce, lucky header, something off the foot.
It worked for the Green Knights. Let's see if it works for the Cougars this time. Outswinging header, excuse me, corner. And it comes to nothing. In fact, it'll be a foul against Cougars.
Wish they got a little bit more elevation on that corner kick. That thing was already died down and on the ground before it really even got, even with the right pipe of the goal, or left pipe from the goalie's perspective. You got to get that thing some elevation, keep it in the air. That's how you get those lucky bounces to fall into the back of the net.
Bertos tries to find Mead. Headed by Gonzalez. Now trying to get there. Marin. Clear there by Murtos. Throw it. Quick throw in here. Frank trying to control it. And he'll just kick that way to safety. Now that clears it up ahead. And retreated. They'll be grabbed it by York, who hands it off right there. "15 minutes left in the opening half. And there could be a second here for the Green Knights. Bossos. Pass right there to Hill. They throw it. Inside the box, crossed in. Santiago kicks it away. And now he heads it. Thrown up here for the Cougars. Great kick. As Corbett right there, not happy with the ref. Gonzalez. Tejano. Frank. See, look to try to open up play on both sides. The touchline.
You notice how methodical the Green Knights are with their clears especially. They have no problems just keeping it in their own end of the field, just taking their time. They're going to move it up, and then they're going to get some momentum going and then go for a big strike. But it's a big reason they're winning this game of possession is they're not taking any unnecessary risks. They're just carefully moving that thing upfield, inching ever so closer to the Cougars' goal.
Free kick awarded. The Green Knights. As the Dutchman, number 18, William van der Akker, will kick it in. The result will be a goal kick as it last bounced off the foot there of the Green Knight.
A little too far on that kick. Went over a couple heads. By the time the Green Knight could get a foot on it, it was such a bad angle. They just ended up sending it out.
Trying to take possession of it was that time Arellano. He tried to go against 4 defenders there and just couldn't get past any of them. On the counter now, Green Knights. Beat. Threw the ball right there. We're trying to pass it to Rojas. So far, as you mentioned, Peter, the Cougars done a lot more better defensively compared to what happened in the opening 10 minutes. Rojas slid in there to keep possession. However, he loses it afterwards. As there's a Green Knight down, it appears to be van der Akker on the ground. As he is currently now attended by the medical staff. So we still have 10:15 to go here in the first half. We'll be back and continue it in a moment. After the quick timeout, we'll resume play once more. 10:15 left here in the first. Those who joined late, St. Norbert took the lead within the opening 20 minutes of the first half. The goal off the right foot of Mike Mertens, the defender. Assisted right there by William van der Akker. And since then, that has been a design difference between both of these teams. St. Norbert have 6 shots for them on net compared to the Cougars 2 shots, however, neither one of them on target.
Well, you can see from the camera to the far right of the Cougars bench, the CUC women's soccer team cheering on their male counterparts on the field. They'll be taking up play 3:15 today against St. Norbert College as well. It's senior day for the women's team, so after the conclusion of this game, make sure to stick around on the Cougar Sports Network for a little senior day action from the women's soccer team here at Concordia.
Down the left-hand side and brought down a foul. Quickly played forward again. Byron tries to clear it away, does so on back-to-back kicks. However, went on the foot of Corbett, then lost control of it. However, once again, the Green Knights are able to pick it right back up possession after losing it. Haas. Haas tries to pass it and does a really good job. And opportunity might potentially come off. And the Cougar defender right there, it appeared to be number 17, Michael Frank, said no to that.
Good job by Frank to fire back into that box. Absolutely flying, gets his foot on the ball before he even thinks about hitting the net.
Pursuit leaves it right there for Byron. Good hustle right there by Schultz. Now Pursuit has to clear out of harm's way. Martin. Out of the way, now Mertens will look to control it down. Santiago. Can't get past it there, Corbett. Here's Rojas with it now. Down here. Mertos putting it up forward. And offsides. Whistle right there against Pasos.
Almost 5 minutes to go here in the first half, so I expect to see a big push from both these teams. Green Knights like to add another goal to their 1-0 lead already. Cougars would love to go into the half tied up, scoring their first goal since their season opener.
They have gone now 500 plus minutes without scoring one. However, 4 minutes left. Let's see if that all can change. Gonzalez. They look to start possession from the back. So far, the trouble for the Cougars has been right here, in which once they get to the midfield, they just lose possession immediately. Instance right there. And because of losing that possession in the midfield, it's allowed the Green Knights, like in this moment right here, to maybe take another goal-scoring opportunity. Here. Has some space. Tries a cut back in the middle. Fall down right there. That's going to be a penalty.
Interesting call there. Say Gonzalez was trying to play the body up. Just ended up falling on his man. I don't think there's really any intent there. Just kind of how things shaped out. But, man, you want to talk about a pristine goal-scoring chance here. It's about as good as it gets.
So the junior, Joe Meade, will look to score potentially maybe here his third goal, which will lead the team from 18 yards out. Him against Pasud. And capitalizes. 2-0 to the Green Knights. With a little over 2 minutes left in the opening half.
I've said it a couple of times. Cougars really focus on just cleaning up the mistakes, but I don't even know if that was a mistake necessarily. Again, Gonzalez was just really leaning into his guy's body and happened to take both of them down. But either way, exactly what the Green Knights wanted. They had all this pressure going into the halftime break and able to capitalize on with goal number 2. And you know, for a team who's struggling to score just one goal like the Cougars are, 2-goal lead it's a tall mountain to climb right now.
In the previous 3 games this season in which the Green Knights have scored 2 or more goals, they have been unbeaten in those 3. A good sign for them. However, not good for the Cougars.
It's a strong Green Knights defense, but it's more than just a defense. Everyone all over the field does a great job pressuring that ball and trying to get possession back. And you see the Cougars, they've been struggling to get it over the half-pitch line all day. And that's not necessarily the Green Knights defense. That's the attacking players. That's up to them to make sure that ball stays on the Cougar side of the pitch. They're doing a great job of it.
Down to be 1 minute left here in the opening half. A foul against the Cougars, and not happy about it. But once again, that's another situation right there in which there are 3 players right there for the Green Knights against a single Cougar. Trying to win possession. In that case, it's all about advantage and numbers.
Well, it looked like the Cougars, or excuse me, the referees had kind of swallowed their whistles for a while. They were letting the guys play out there, but now all of a sudden we're getting a couple of calls against the Cougars, one of which was, of course, that penalty kick that resulted in goal number 2. But Cougars now, they got 15 seconds. Just make sure nothing goes wrong. They don't fall in a 3-0 hole and head into halftime, regroup, and come out trying to figure out how to score 2 goals at the least.
So we'll just kick it away, and that will be pretty much how the first half will come to a close, with the Green Knights of St. Norbert with a 2-0 lead over the Cougars of Concordia, Chicago. When we return, the start of the second half here from River Forest.
Concordia University Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
back here for the start of the second half here at River Forest. The Green Knights of St. Norbert College are up 2-0 against the Cougars of Concordia, Chicago, in which in the opening half it has pretty much been dominated by the Green Knights up to this point.
The Green Knights doing a great job maintaining possession, making sure the Cougars don't get anything going offensively. Shots are 7-2. You can see some of the stats up on the screen. 7-2 shots favor of the Green Knight. And shots on goal is 5-0, also in favor of St. Norbert College. So Cougars, they got some work to do if they want to get back from this 2-goal deficit. But before we get started, let's go around CUC sports really quick today. A couple other teams in action. Women's tennis faced off against the Illinois Institute of Technology at home today. IIT took that match 6-3. Tough loss for the women's tennis team. On women's volleyball side of things, they are in the Rose Holman Volleyball Invitational in Terre Haute, Indiana. Women's volleyball played Manchester University at 11 a.m. Eastern time today. Won that 3-2 in a 5-set thriller. They also are currently playing the host team, Rose Holman Institute of Technology. Rose Holman leads the match 2-0. They're currently up 15-9 in set 3 against the Cougars. And the Cougars football on the road for the first time this year up in Mequon for a matchup against the Concordia University Wisconsin team. That team currently has a score of 14-7 in favor of CUW. They're at halftime right now, so we'll give you some updates as the day goes on. Once again, CUC women's soccer in action after this game. 3:15 start time. That's what's scheduled for right now. Maybe some wiggle room there, but it's senior day for the Cougars women's soccer team, so make sure to stick around on the Cougar Sports Network for that game coming up after this one.
Second half has already begun, and in addition to that, there appears to potentially be a change at goalkeeper. Cougars.
Well, now in net for the Cougars, trying to make out the number exactly. It'll be number 35, Kyle Schultz. And we're going to check on that. Number 29, Kyle Schultz. There we go. Freshman goalkeeper out of Pingree Grove, Illinois, from Hampshire High School. So Schultz making his season and career debut today for the Cougars. But Coach Flanders maybe not liking what he saw with Pursuit and net, even though Pursuit, he leaves the game. 3 saves, 2 goals allowed. One of them was a penalty kick. The other was right on the doorstep. So can't really blame either of them on Pursuit, but maybe a little change of momentum is what Coach Flanders is looking for as he puts Schultz in net. Schultz wearing a multicolored shirt, gold body with maroon sleeves and a white stripe going across the bicep. So change in goalie for the Cougars. See if it sparks anything here in the second half, as they need to pick up 2 to at least come away with a tie. Another reminder, there is no more overtime in the regular season anymore. Whatever the score at the end of 90 is, that's the final score, tie or not. So Cougars, they got to score at least 2 if they want to come away with a tie.
We'll see if that happens in the next 41 minutes and counting. Maiden lost control of the ball right there. He scored near the end of the first half of the penalty, which gave him his 3rd goal of the season, which now leads the Green Knights in the category. And then currently on the ball is the game's first goal scorer, 12, Mike Murtos, who scored off the corner kick earlier on in the game within the opening 20 minutes. Santos. Long outward pass right there. O'Connor tries to get it before Schultz does. However, Schultz wins the race. Montejano trying to keep it in. He does. Now looks for help. And he finds it. Crosses it in and headed away. It'll be a corner.
Already like what I see from the Cougars a little bit more so far in the second half. More offensive pressure. They're coming out firing right now. They can get something off this corner kick with the momentum going their way. Big to pick up a goal within the first 6 minutes of the second half. Cut that lead down in half.
Corner headed by Marin. Herbert hit the side of his head. Throw in still up for the Cougars. Throwing it in will be the senior Montejano. Long throw in. And the Cougars still have it. Montejano's going to try to cross it in. Again, he does. At the far post. And it again. And a header off the post. Great opportunity there for Frank. Hit the post. Miller shot on the way block. As the Green Knight is down. But the long goalless drought was nearly there for the Cougars. The first great opportunity they've had as down on the floor appears to be Van der Keur.
Well, number 18 in green, Van der Keur took a hard hit in the head. I think him and a Cougar both went up for the header. So training staff checking on him, making sure he's okay. He's up on his feet now, getting looked at. Hopefully he's all right. The Green Knight's all right, and we'll be able to resume play here shortly.
Cougars finally nearly got that goal opportunity they've been waiting for to snap the goalless drought. It nearly came off the head of Michael Frank.
Well, hopefully a couple bad bounces don't discourage the Cougars. They got something cooking right now. They just got to keep pressing. You figure at some point they're eventually going to break through, but just because things don't go your way immediately, you can't kind of crawl back. Keep attacking, keep pressing, try and get that first goal they've been looking for in a long while.
They still have 38 minutes to finally break through. Here come the Cougars again. Velasquez. Cuts to the middle. Now passes it to the far side. Attempted cross there. It's cleared away by the Green Knights. Cougars look energized here in the opening 8 minutes and counting.
You got to keep the pressure on. Remember, you're not just down by 1, you're down by 2 now after that late penalty kick goal in the first half. So not only do you have to keep the pressure up long enough to get 1 goal out of this, you got to get 2. You got to get 1 more, at least come away with the tie today. But good start from the Cougars to half number 2 action. Now they just got to start capitalizing.
Ross, pass ahead. Headed first there. But Byron, now Montejano has it.
Got 3 green bodies around him, then there was 2 once he got rid of it. They are just swarming that ball when the Cougars have it.
And that's pretty much been the difference of this game. The relentless pursuit of the Green Knights, not allowing the Cougars to retain possession and sort of start moving the ball forward. Throw in here. Ball lands on the feet there. Etzel. Chernishevsky. Mertels. So far, the Green Knights, they don't mind having possession in their defensive third and just sort of being patient, waiting for the openings, like one potentially coming right here, just out of the outskirts there of the right foot there of Meade.
Well, there's no real reason for them to kind of rush things when they're trying to get out of their own third. They have a 2-goal lead against a team who's really struggling to put goals up on the board. So, yeah, you can just kind of take your time, sit back, don't make any, dumb mistakes, and just slowly work your way upfield. They're in no rush right now. They're perfectly fine just killing time off the clock.
Tejano, considering time. And a foul there as he was trying to go through the sophomore right there, number 6, Hill. So a free kick.
Let's see what they'll do here. We've seen it on a couple other free kicks. Instead of sending it towards the net, they'll just try and get possession, send it to a streaking player, maybe one of the 3, well, what looks like 2 guys circling the ball right now in white.
It's going to come out of the foot of Velasquez. Cleared away. It's going to go all the way back to Schultz. Velasquez claims a handball and gets it. .32 minutes left in the second half. As St. Norbert are on their way to potentially now be unbeaten in 5 of 6. As for the Cougars, barring a second half comeback, they will now lose 7 straight games to start off the season. After last year at this point, last year's team went all the way to the conference quarterfinals. And now this year they're just buying for a win, let alone a goal.
Well, you remember that last year's team went on a big run late in the year, routed off 5 or 6 straight wins. I believe it was 5. That's really what pushed them into that postseason. So not out of the realm of possibility right now for the Cougars, of course, but they got to get something going offensively. You can't, expect to go from scoring 0 goals in 5 of your past 6 games to all of a sudden going on a big hot streak and keep making the playoffs. You at least got to get some kind of momentum going before you think about, jumping onto that hot streak and pulling away with a playoff spot.
Last year they were only shut out twice, and already at this point, 5 games they would have been shut out, potentially a 6, depending how the rest of the game goes.
Well, WOC's done a good job coming back from that initial flurry of attacks from the Cougars. They're playing a lot more like they were in that first half, a lot more controlled, a lot more settled soccer. The Cougars, they just got to keep their foot on the gas pedal. They got to find something here. So again, this team's struggling to score 1 goal a game. Now they got to score 2 in just about half an hour of play.
Good job right there, keeping it in. They're slowly pushing the ball forward into the attacking third. And immediately the threat ends for a second. Foul there. Tejano has some space. He uses it. To the Marn. Tejano. See what we'll do with it. Got past 1 defender. Now retreats back. Has to give it off right there to Frank. Throw in for the Cougars. Ball took a bounce. Shot off the post again. This time it was Byron who hit the post.
Man, Cougars just cannot buy a goal right now. I don't know if there's any kind of magnet in the ball drawing it to those pipes or not, but they just can't get in just a couple of inches to the right. That's their first goal since the first day of September. I mean, this is a team, they could easily have this game tied up by now. They had a couple of pipes earlier in the half. They had one right there. Again, a couple inches in either direction, and we might be tied up at 2 here.
And instead, it's still a 2-0 lead for the Green Knights. However, for the Cougars, this gives you hope that potentially Looking like a rally.
Nice play there. Great kick by Schultz from the net. Right to Oscar Montejano, who's able to play it to his brother Austin Montejano on the sideline.
Now Cougars again. They like moving towards the left-hand side of the pitch. Santiago. Here's Montejano. Leaves it right there for Santiago. Matson tries to put a ball on the net. Montejano, he'll look to swing it in. Fakes it. Matson some space. There's a back from Montejano. But has to retreat it back. Frank. I don't know once more. And well defended there that time by the Green Knights, by Hill number 6. Under 25 minutes. Matson. To Oscar Montejano. Gives off to his brother. Crosses it in. However, Cougars still trying to make something out of it. Matson is going to look to control it. Now he does. So far, the second half, far better improvement from the Cougars attacking-wise. From one Montejano to another. Unable to keep it in was Austin Montejano. As several substitutions are coming in for St. Norbert.
Well, Cougars defense has done a great job locking down. St. Norbert doesn't really have any big chances so far here in the second half. And, credit the offense as well. They're doing a good job keeping that ball, keeping possession numbers up. They just got to start finding some finishes here. Get that goal in the back of the net. They only got 22 and a half minutes to get 2 in.
So I'll just get down to danger there as the nearest Green Knight there, Pasos, was chasing him down. throw in here for Green Knights. It's been a while since we've seen them on this side of the pitch in the second half. Haas tries to dangle himself past the Cougar defenders. Can't do so there. Those, oh, a strike there. And end result will be a goal kick. There's several substitutions right there from both teams. There's a throw-in upcoming here for Concordia. Throw in. There. Across, way too short. Now Mead trying to run back to the ball. It does, though, force a throw-in now for the Green Knights. Shot there. Ooh, and a shot there from over 25 yards out right there. Was Murtos as he's looking to get his second goal of the game. This came out of his right foot.
Well, Cougars, they got to take momentum right back here. They have had it for most of the second half. You cannot let up now. You can't get Green Knights. Can't let them have anything going here. You know, you're come so close, just a couple of inches away from scoring the first goal of the game. First goal since September 1st for the Cougars. You got to keep the gas on. You got to keep the pedal to the metal now. At least get something on the board.
Not a good turnover right there. Good job defensively, though, by Byron, and cleared it away as it was a 3-on-2 rush. Foul. Free kick here for the Green Knights. And kicking the free kick is going to be number 7, Lucas Rojas. As he will swing it in. Headed away. Corbin. Good job defensively again by the senior out of Illinois, Byron. Foul. Free kick here for Cougars. Cougars will have 10 fouls. The Green Knights will have 9 fouls. Tejano looking for his brother. Too far out. Field goal kick. Quiet day for the keeper. Daniel York, only one save so far, but other than that, we haven't seen much of him. Gents. Passes out, trying to cut back in. Cross. And a good attempt right there over the bicycle.
Oof. Almost saw a highlight reel play there. Fortunately for the Cougars, went wide right of the net, but closing in on the 15-minute mark.
And his boss was right there trying to make the highlight reel, as you mentioned.
So 2/3 of the way, just about 2/3 of the way through second half action, and Cougars have come close this half. The pipe a couple times, but still looking for the goal number 1 of the day, goal number 2 on the season.
Let's see what happens this time on Tejano. Leaves it up to Santiago. Who loses possession as he has. As a story of the day has been just the relentless work ethic and pursuit of the Green Knights, particularly in the midfield. What they have done today has been nothing short but impressive. Tejano. Matson. Can't find anyone. Good move by him, though. Finds Montejano, who's going to give it right back to Matson. He's going to try to cross it in. And not enough power there. Sort of more like a pass. And it's right into the gloves of York. Take a look ahead for the schedule for the Cougars. They'll travel to Wisconsin for our next 2 games against Lakeland University this upcoming Wednesday, before on Saturday the 1st, they travel to Milwaukee School of Engineering before they come back at home the 5th of October against Rockford University. So that'll be their next 3 games. Meanwhile, for St. Norbert, after today, they'll be back home against Concordia University of Wisconsin and Dominican University before traveling back on the road on the 5th of October against Edgewood. So those are some of the upcoming fixtures for both teams.
A good chance here for the Cougars with Madsen at the free kick. Send this one towards the net. Just send all those bodies flying over. We're just going to play this one instead to Montejano.
Tries to cross it in there, but he's met right there by the right foot of Jens. Long throw here by Montejano. And it falls to the head of Byron. However, easily grabbed right there by the netminder, Yerk. Throwing goes in favor of the Cougars. Coming today, these two teams were two of the bottom three in goals. Coming today, St. Norbert had scored 11 compared to Chicago's 1. And so far, St. Norbert has surpassed their average per game this season. Giving them at 1.2, and today they have scored twice. Good curling ball in, and the potential for a third goal here eliminated.
See, that is streaking out of the net towards the ball right now, I believe. That is Byron. I think he's what kept that ball in the net. Schultz got out of position to try and make a play on the ball. I think Byron was one who threw himself back there. I think he got a piece of it before it went in, too, before Schultz was able to come back in, scoop it up, and eliminate the danger. But, man, crazy play there. Almost resulted in goal number 3 on the day for the Green Knights. But less than 10 minutes to go. It's go time here for the Cougars. You know, goal every 5 minutes roughly if you want to go for the tie. They got some work to do right now.
Byron's had an eventful second half. Remember earlier in the game, in the second half, he had a shot hit the post, and now he goes from almost scoring to saving what would have been a third goal for the Green Knights. However, they're still going to go for it. Schultz this time to save. Vasquez got pulled to the ground. Free kick.
I'm the Cougars. I'm sending this one towards the net. You gotta hope for a bounce or something. Just get it there. Settled offense clearly has not really been working today in terms of executing the finishes. So send this, everybody, towards the net. Just crash the box and see if anyone could get some kind of piece of it on a rebound.
That's 7 good opportunities on free kicks. They're going to play it short. And clear it ahead and away of the danger. under 7 minutes and counting here in River Forest. So now we're in comfortable control, 2-0 lead. Throw in here. Cougars looking to play quickly. They do so, however, there's no one there to get it, as the defender at that time, Janishiki, uses by to outmuscle the Cougar attacker. Through ball opportunity. And the opportunity is squandered away. As the pass was going for number 5, Luke Behringer. So we approach 5 minutes now, and for the Cougars, where will they go from here? As Yerk will send away eventually, as head coach Chad Flanders will still have to wait, barring a heroic miracle. He will still be searching for the team's first win, let alone first point on the season. Meanwhile, I'll say Norbert, they'll still be unbeaten in conference with 2 wins and 2 draws. Dano. Move there. Dano. It's dragged on the ground. They're going to say no foul there, as he was dragged there by Sheffield. Long throw in. Two and a half minutes left to play.
Well, as we're closing out game one here in today's soccer doubleheader at Concordia. I want to remind everyone you can head over to CUCougars.com and check out all of the sports here at Concordia University Chicago, like the men's soccer team. All you got to do is click on sports, insert whatever team you're wanting to look at. You can find rosters, schedule, stats, and more. One more time, that's CUCougars.com, excuse me. You can also head to our YouTube page, CUC Sports, for new digital content like interviews and all broadcasts on the Cougar Sports Network. $5 a month will get you a channel membership where you can receive exclusive content and the ability to participate in live chats during the broadcast. But if you don't remember at the time, if you don't want to become a member at the time, you can still donate to our athletic communications department. All you have to do is click think on any button to become a member. Press join button on any of our videos. But no matter what you do, just know that we sincerely thank you for all of your support.
A little over a minute left, and a little bit of pushing and shoveling now begins. Both teams are starting to get a little bit chippy to one another. Yellow. Appear to be multiple yellows. Free kick. Can the long-awaited moment happen for the Cougars and finally get one past that? Play it short. That could have been the best chance remaining for the Cougars. The Green Knights will look to end it. We are approaching the 30-second mark. The Green Knights of St. Norbert come into River Forest, and off the backs of their first half performance with goals by Mike Murtos and Joe Mead is pretty much going to make all the difference here as we are counting down to the final 10 seconds.
Cougars, couple chances here in the second half to at least pull within one, but the goalposts had something else to say about that, unfortunately, and that's how we arrived at our final score today. Cougars, they like to pick up their next win in their next appearance. They'll remain winless on the year so far.
The Cougars will have a chance to finally win their first game and try to break the drought this upcoming Wednesday against Lakeland University. For Peter Burkowski and the entire production crew here in River Forest, it's Rafa Gonzalez saying so long, and we will see you back for the doubleheader.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.